Oh god, I'm dying. Saw Infinity War, and more like Infinity Bore, am I right? I'm sorry, I don't know why I say these things. Honestly, I liked a lot of the movie. You can watch our first review of it on here if you want more details, but honestly, everybody's still losing their shit over this film, and it makes me feel angry, and bitter, and mean. So I'm gonna piss in everybody's Lucky Charms, talk about the movie like a boring old asshole who can't spell the word fun. And I'm not like getting on people for enjoying it. This is mainly my problem. Oh yeah, and like spoilers. Obviously. I liked what they did with Tony. Like, I have more than just negative things to say, I guess. First scene with him and Pepper, they talk about like having a baby, and, like retiring. And like, it's kind of like in old noir movies where you find out that the character is like a detective. And he's like, oh, I'm about to retire. I'm gonna go and spend time with my wife and family. And it's like, oh, I wonder who's gonna fucking die. They talk about having a baby and shit. And we all know that my boy RDJ over here can't play Iron Man in his late 70s. So we're all just kind of expecting the Russos to fucking cap that guy. And it just makes it so obvious. There's a fucking target on his head. And he ends up being one of the like 4 people who didn't die. That was kind of clever. Wasn't really special or anything, but it was clever. Oh yeah, I kind of liked Thor too. Ragnarok was good, but it certainly didn't do anything with Earth's boringest Hemsworth, so he's been a pretty static character since the first movie. Here they actually like made me feel something, and you really do get where he's coming from, because everybody he loves is all dead and shit, except for Queen Amidala, but we don't care about her anymore. Shh, Marvel wants you to forget. Action was cool. It was creatively filmed. It's well composed. Easily the tightest action from the Russo brothers to date, so that's nice. Like, if the fighting isn't fun when it's like half your movie, then you fucked up. Like, they've gradually gotten better, and they did Winter Soldier, and that movie has really good action. It's a lot tighter. Civil War does too, but like sometimes they get their frames kind of shaky, and it's not well composed. But here, it really felt like they just stepped up their A-game with the direction. I kind of like how Loki died in like the first scene. That expendable fucker's been around for a bit too long anyway, and it's nice that the movie kills him immediately. So we know, hey, wow, people can die in this. So there's more tension. But that pisses me off, because they fucking lied. Yeah, okay, fine. Gamora's dead, and that was pretty well handled. They actually keep her dead, and like, bravo. That'll be like cool to see what happens to the dynamic of the Guardians when we have a now slightly more mature Star-Lord and no obvious mother figure in this group of like whiny crybaby boys. But like, everyone died at the end, and it's like, no, they aren't dead. Did you see how much money Black Panther made? Have you ever been on IMDb? Yeah, he ain't fucking dead. Don't pretend you're all serious and shit and then come out and give me a fake emotional gut punch with this shit. Also, like, what the fuck was up with Strange giving Thanos the Time Stone? I mean, yeah, whatever, I get it. Like, it was the only way, but he couldn't have, like, told them that was the plan to, like, prepare them? And, like, not fight Thanos needlessly and risk all of their lives? Maybe just give the stone to Thanos if you know that's how it's gonna happen? But no, because the movie needs an action scene, he waits until they, like, give up, even though he's literally said there's only one possibility. So, like, doesn't that kind of mean that there are 2 possibilities, man? I don't like to pick apart stuff when it has to do with time and stories, but it just kind of felt like it was lazy just to contrive an action scene. Like, sorry, I'm letting you all die without even really explaining why that is, and people get all pissy over purple hair Magoo in The Last Jedi not talking about her plan. How come that this gets a pass? He couldn't just say, look, I saw the future and half of us are gonna die, but, like, it's literally the only way, and you all have no reason to doubt me because I'm on your side. Like, did he think telling them would have changed shit, like, at all? If you saw the one outcome, by definition, means you won't fucking, like, just don't do it. That means there's two options. But nah, man, we need an excuse to make me, yeah, me, cry like a bitch. Oh.
White girls like this coat up my ass crack.
Man, fucking SpiderMan. I'm not even kidding. If he didn't die, or like, if he didn't die in the way that he did, I probably would have been alright with the movie. Yeah, it has issues, and like, has all the Marvel problems, and I still would have taken issue with the fact that all the characters died only to come back later. But like, that moment, no, man, you make me cry, and that shit better mean something. Don't fucking cheapen my sadness, you fucking pricks. Killing Peter the way you did was like putting a puppy in a fucking guillotine and then telling us the puppy wasn't real. They aren't dead. No one is dead. This is gonna be an excuse for nothing to happen in the first act of the next movie. Maybe you could have killed, like, actually fucking killed people. Because I mean it, like, if everyone is fucking dead now, so it's like, how am I supposed to buy this or care? We all know that all the decisions are getting made because Kevin Feige wants to slurp up a money smoothie, but it's so fucking transparent and cheap. But nah, man, on an emotional level, they practically do that scene from Devilman Crybaby, where you see the girl's head on a pike, and all the dramatic music plays. Except that show knew it was exploitative and cheap, so it utilized that. Instead, we kill the adorable, doe-eyed, precious baby boy as he lies dying in the arms of his surrogate father figure who literally said this in the last film.
What if somebody had died tonight? Different story, right? Because that's on you. And if you died, I feel like that's on me.
And saying shit like, I don't want to go, I don't want to die, Mr. Stark. Like, man, when you do that shit, it better be because you're taking a risk. I want new and, like, actually good Spider-Man movies as much as the next guy, but if you legit killed him this way, I'd fucking respect the hell out of you.
All around me are familiar faces.
Like, should I have expected more? No, really, like, am I being unfair? Feels like I might be. But I keep thinking about it. The more I think about it, if any other movie did this shit, I would hate it. So why is it different here? It could also be because, like, I'm older and kind of grumpy and cynical. These movies are made primarily for kids, for the most part. Unless you want to argue that the last two Captain America films were for kids, in which case you'd be, like, you know, wrong. But still. This will probably blow kids' minds. But just because kids don't have a full grasp on narrative consequence doesn't mean you can cop out like this. Also, what, like, happened? At the end, I mean. Thanos is gone, and there's Gamora, but she's a little baby green girl. Like, is that just a delusion from the Gauntlet? Like, he's accomplished his mission, and now he's set up his own reality to make himself feel better? Is it like an actual place? Is it like heaven? Is Gamora real? Why is she a kid? If she's not real, then why didn't they kind of make that more clear? I mean, maybe I wasn't paying attention because I was still kind of angry at this point. But it just seems like a lot of shit just sort of happens visually and, like, the climax. And you don't really know what to think of it. It's like, oh, well, it's explained in the next movie. And it's like, no. You can't dismiss a criticism of this film because it'll be fixed in a later one. How could, like, anybody have guessed that the big old purple raisinette looking motherfucker over here would be the best part of this movie? Marvel's, like, only done a good job with villains recently. With villains like Birdman, Shigo the Big Bad Planet Boy, and Spike Lee. So I guess they've been doing something right, but so many people love it. I'm not sure if it's hype or praise will, like, stand the test of time. Every above-average Marvel movie wanes over the years, after people freak out at them, like, initially, after the month they're released. But they haven't had explosive reactions from people that this movie has. And I have such a huge issue with not only the film, but the entirety of the MCU now. Something I've supported the existence of, and I still do. But I'll be real, this movie kind of made me question that. Morgan said something in our car review that really stuck with me.
I've just been waiting for so long for something in these movies to really mean something.
And yeah, that honestly sums it up. No matter how much I like everything else, this movie has an Achilles heel. But I'm the only person who feels that way. Critics I follow either love this movie or just thought it was really good, even harsh critics. It amazed me that my biggest complaint was essentially hand-waved by everybody. So is this just me? I'm one of the few outliers. I think my criticism is valid, but if so many people loved it, then does the film succeed despite its flaw? Am I just one of the few that inherently can't enjoy it? Have I finally reached the point in my life where cynicism has gotten the best of me? The whole world can't be wrong. At least, they're not wrong for liking it. So is this my moment where I realize a part of my childhood is kind of dead? If I had seen this movie a year ago, or like 5 years ago, would I feel different? Could I actually enjoy it? Because despite my ramblings, I wanted to like it, but I couldn't find it in me. That's just it. Maybe my expectations were kind of misguided. Marvel did accomplish something. This movie has no reason to be anything other than a gigantic clusterfuck of bullshit, and it wasn't that. And people liked it. I hate it's mostly one thing too. A lot of these problems I could easily overlook. I just wish I was one of those people. I'm gonna take a nap.